Hello, everybody. I'm going to be showing you how to make the passenger section from the Automoblox vehicle for the 5.2 assignment. Here are the dimension drawings you should have. I'm going to be basing this off of the instructions that are in the assignment right here. I'm going to start here with A, begin by sketching a rectangle and filleting the corners before extruding. So in order to do that, we are going to need the dimensions for this rectangle. So we're going to start a 2D sketch in the XY plane. All right, the dimensions we are going to be using are right here. So it needs to be 3.16 wide by 1.52 tall. So I'm going to go to the rectangle, always start at the origin. I see this here. So with our highlighted, we're going to do 3.16 wide. And then before I hit enter, I'm going to hit tab and I'm going to make it 1.52 tall. I can zoom out and see my rectangle. Next is we need the fillet. In order to do that, let's look at our dimensions right here. This 4 times R.3 means that these 4 corners have a radius of 0.3 inches. So we're going to use the fillet tool. We're going to change our radius to 0.3. And we are now going to click at each corner to fillet the corners. Now, if this one won't do it, notice how it's highlighting. I click one line of the corner that I want, then I go to the other line, and there it is. All right. Next, the instructions are telling us to extrude, and we get the extrusion dimension right here. That's also 3.16. So we're going to finish sketch, extrude. I like to do it the opposite way, but it doesn't really matter. Our distance is 3.16. So make sure that you do that correctly. Next, it says to select the top part of the body, create a new sketch, draw the rectangle with filleted corners. Basically, we're drawing this hole up here at the top. We're drawing this part. So here's how I do this. I'm going to start by drawing the rectangle, and I'm going to fillet the corners, and then I'm going to dimension it the appropriate distances from the sides. So we need to start a new sketch on the top, paying attention to the orientation because that's going to matter for our rectangle. So I'm drawing a rectangle. This dimension that's highlighted already is going to be 1.98. I'm going to hit the tab key. This dimension that is highlighted is 1.59. Pay attention to which dimensions of yours highlight first. I can't guarantee it will do it exactly like mine, but this is the general idea. Now we need to position the rectangle within the top here. So I'm going to use the dimension tool. If we look at the instructions from the front, right here, it is 0.81 inches. From here to here, click once on one line, click again on the other, pull out your dimension, click once to place, click again to edit, 0.81, enter. And finally, we need to center it up from side to side. Now, if you look right here, it doesn't actually give you that dimension. This is something that we got to calculate ourselves. The way that we do this is subtract the width of this from the overall width. That will give us the leftover space. Then we divide that by 2 to give us the amount of space on each side. Now, I can tell you right now that that distance is 0.59, but let me show you a little trick that Autodesk does. There's 2 ways to do this. You could either A, lay another dimension line down, click again to edit, and you could just put 0.59 here. But Autodesk will do the math for you. So to show you this, I'm going to put this as 3.16, because that's the overall width, minus 1.98. That is in parentheses because it's the first thing that needs to be done. Then I'm going to put the divided by 2, just like an Excel formula, and hit enter. And see how that set it up for me? Notice that I'm measuring from the very outside edge here. Outside edge, not this inside beginning of the fillet, but the actual outside edge. Now we need to fillet our corners to be the correct size. Once again, we look at our dimension. Here's another 4 times 0.2. So that's going to go right there. We're going to change this 0.3 to 0.2 for the fillet. And now we can click multiple times right here. All right, we're going to finish sketch. And now we're going to extrude this sketch. This time we need to do it at a depth of 1.07. And we don't need, if it goes up, we need it to go the opposite way in. All right. One final thing that we'll need to do, and that is place these inserts right here. This is done the same way. Rectangle 2.4 times 0.93. So we're going to start a 2D sketch. We're going to put our rectangle here and make it the correct size, 2.4, 0.93. I'm going to go ahead and fillet my corners. They're a radius of 0.2. Remember to fillet. If you don't click on the corner, you can click on one side of the line, then the other side of the line from the corner. That will do it. I'm now going to dimension where I need it to be. If we look, it's going to be 0.39 inches from the edge, so dimension tool. Click the edge. Click the edge of this. This needs to be 0.39 inches. All right. And we're going to do the same thing that we did with it before. If you look right here, if you look, it needs to be 0.29 inches. So I'm going to click here and here, pull that over to 0.29 inches. All right. We're going to finish the sketch. We're going to extrude this. This needs to be done to a depth of 0.57 inches, as you can see right there. So we're going to change this to 0.57, make that a cut. We're going to hit OK. All right, now it might not be clear from the picture, but it says right here, appropriate extrude cuts in the 2 opposing faces of the body, which means that this needs to be done. The exact same thing needs to be done on the other side as well. So another rectangle that is going to be 2.4 by 0.93. Our rectangle still needs the fillets of 0.2. It needs to be dimensioned the same distances away. So we need it 0.29 from the top. And you need it 0.39 from the side. Finish your sketch, do another extrusion of 0.5, an extrude cut of 0.57. So instead of once again outwards, you can also select cut. It's another option to make it go in the other direction and hit OK. And that is the completed passenger body.